Hello, welcome to Smoke Mayor's Gaming and Car Talk. Welcome back to DayZ. Now we've got to this house here and we've got a zombie outside, and the plan is we're not that well equipped, so we don't really want to fight him and get injured. So we're just going to lie down and wait a few minutes for him to get bored and go and do something else. And also, we just heard the cock crowing, which is interesting. I mean, there's probably a chicken somewhere around here, which is a great source of protein. We've got a zombie making his way here, but again, if we close the door on him, if you get it just right, you can sometimes just clip through the door so you can deal him some damage without actually putting yourself at risk. And we did manage to get some nice loot there, a kind of pop and a steak knife, which will be critical. That's the water tap, but obviously we're a bit busy at the moment. We've shut the door so the other one can't come in. Just going to quickly deal with this former policeman. These police stations are always worth checking out because they tend to have things like stab vests, bullets, magazines, guns. Very common to find like a shotgun in here. This looks like he was a former, don't know, prisoner maybe, or there's no bars in that cell. Interesting. There's a cell, always worth checking out. Nothing there today. This is often a room where you'll find something useful. I don't think I've got the gun that magazine goes to. But sometimes if it's a common gun, it's worth carrying a magazine around it. It doesn't take up much inventory space. And if you do decide you don't want a magazine, always check that the bullets that are in it are not ones that you need. And if you need them, you need to empty the magazine. I think you hold it in your hand and then double tap Y to empty the magazine, or do you press RT? I think it comes up on a tooltip anyway, but always remember to do that. So again, we don't really want those police trousers, but we may want those rounds of ammunition. It's always worth being a little bit careful around the police station. You can often find they're a bit of a magnet for players, so you can find yourself wandering in here, and if somebody's got it first, they've got themselves a gun, and you catch a better right, they may just instinctively shoot you. So I've been a little bit cautious there. Just checking over in there. And a smoke grenade there. Seems to have been finding a lot of these lately. I don't know if there's been a change in the loot tables or something, but we never saw one for ages, and then suddenly I keep finding one every time I play. So I think a bit more or less everywhere we want to go. We're just going to make a few more racks, I think, here. Just jump randomly there. Then we'll combine those here to save on inventory space. Don't forget, if you want to make a fishing rod, an improvised fishing rod, and you want to make rope, you need 2 stacks of 6. And then you'll put 1 stack of 6 in your inventory and 1 in your hand, and then you'll combine them. So another smoke grenade and a BK-33, which is like a shotgun, but you will find the shotgun can fire 12 gauge rifled slugs and 12 gauge rubber bullets too. I actually had a double barrel shotgun the other day, and I was in the process of trying to loot a house, and a player ran into a room on me, and I instinctively turned around and blasted him and knocked him out in one hit, but it didn't actually kill him. And actually he ended up getting up eventually, and I just let him go. I just let him go on his way. So yeah, sometimes rubber bullets might be useful if you don't want to just murder somebody. Have we got anything useful there? Matches. They are useful. Always worth picking up a few matches. You don't need them to light a fire. If you can't find matches or a lighter or something like that, you need a knife. And then if you get some bark from a tree, like one of the larger trees, you can use that as kindling. And if you combine it with a short stick, you can make a hand drill kit, which you can then use to light a fire. But you can use it and use it up, and it fails to. So if you've got the capacity, it might be worth, if you're going to get some bark, get a few pieces and get a few short sticks. The sticks are the easiest thing to come by because you get those with your hands. But for the bark, you need something sharp. I think there's just one here, so I'm not sure if we're going to deal with them. Oh, nope, we've got two, which isn't ideal. They're quite easy to deal with, single zombies are, but it's very easy if you get multiple ones on you to get swamped. And again, if they get close to the windows, it's the right kind of window, it's safest to melee them through the window. Just going to check out this house here. Sometimes it's worth checking upstairs and these houses, but to be honest, very rarely is anything good. This is really a game where you have to sort of listen out for things, you know, where you should be able to hear where a chicken is crowing from or clucking, and you should be able to hear where the zombies are, particularly if you're wearing headphones, and then you can hopefully avoid those encounters. It is sometimes worth trying to take out as many infected as you can, if you can do so safely, because they can often have a little bit of food and some basic items on them. Not usually much. If you see one with a backpack, then that's always a good sign. They will drop that backpack, and backpacks are definitely one of the more useful items in the game. Just going to quickly make a few more rags here. And be good. I would definitely recommend, if you find something like a steak knife or a cleaver or something like that, probably don't use it as a weapon. I'm inclined to say save it as a tool, because there's so many things that you need a sharp blade to make which are useful. And, you know, you're far better off using something like a baseball bat as a melee weapon, which was just for that one job, and you're not going to find yourself killing a load of zombies with your knife, finding yourself bleeding, then suddenly finding you can't actually make any rags because your knife is ruined. So we're going to check out this house here. Collar dress there. Can make rags, and we've got I forgot that. It's a rifle. We're a bit loaded down at the moment. Space. Do we want to? Is it worth it for a badly damaged one? It depends on what ammunition we've got and what ammunition it takes. In some respects, it's not ideal travelling when the weather's this bad, because your temperature will go down quicker. Your food and drink will probably suffer more for it. But in ways, it's good to travel when the weather's like this, because you find you can run around zombies without them hearing you a lot more easily. It's often worth just checking those little sheds, but again, you don't have to check every one. Meat tenderizer, not particularly a great melee weapon. Maybe it has its uses. Now we're going to run down this way here. Trying to get to the town where I got killed, and I dropped all my stuff, and I've got my daughter hanging around my stuff, making sure it doesn't despawn. She's picked up some of the most important things, and I'm just using the map on iSurvive and landmarks to figure out the shortest route to get there. was a bit lucky with some of my finds early on. Having some jam is helpful because it takes a lot of inventory space. It's like 4 slots, but it gives you a lot of energy, and you can sort of eat a little bit and then put it away, and it's kind of like carrying various bits of food. Luckily we got that kind of pop from that infected that we killed outside that house. So if we do start to get low on drink, we can drink that. And again, because it's got sugar in it, pop will quench your thirst, but it will also reduce your hunger levels a tiny bit as well. Not much, but a little bit. If you're ever out in the wilderness like this and you're struggling to find your way, if you're on I Survive and you know roughly where you are, it can sometimes make it easy to see where you are and where you're headed by going onto the topographic map and looking at whether you're heading uphill or downhill and figuring out what direction you need to head by that. You can also find an orienteering compass which will tell you which way is north and south, and you can also find tourist maps as well. There's some pinned up on notice boards that you can look at, and they will have a red dot to say where you are. Or you can find ones which you can carry around, and then you can open them out and have a look at them. If you decide to do that, I recommend you go to first person mode, because you can see the map a lot more clearly then. Same as when you're looking at the tourist maps that are pinned to the signs. If you go to first person mode, you can see the map much better. It is possible to encounter things like wolves in these areas, and they can be quite nasty. They can hunt in groups, and ideally you probably want a building to run into if you encounter some, but we're unlucky. So just looking around at trying to see where we are and where the town is we're trying to get to. Maybe that one there. On a populated server, this might not be a good idea because you're running through open fields. I'm obviously carrying some gear. You know, a stranger, a player who you're not arranged to meet up with might see and think, you know what, I don't want to take the risk there. He's obviously got a gun, he's got a bat. I don't want that sort of encounter. I've got a sniper rifle, I'm just going to pick him off. But this is quite a low population server, so we're not too at risk of that. So I'm just stopping to take our bearings and figure out where we are. We're on the outskirts of a town here, but I don't think it's the one I'm trying to get to. We now need to head this way. Sometimes when you're looking for towns, if there's no roads around, the easiest way to navigate is to look for power lines and follow the power lines. Obviously they're going to go to things like factories, houses, things like that. If you can't find any power lines, then another good landmark, things like small rivers and streams which you can find on the map, I Survive, and then you can find them in the game, and you more or less know which way to follow them. If you can work out which town you're in, you can usually use the sea as knowing whether if you're heading inland, you're heading west or north. But here we're just following the power lines. Which is a quite big pylon, so one assumes it's quite a decent sized settlement at least one end of this track. So we're going to run here. And we found a road again. And again, you sometimes see these little signs which you can use to tell where you're going. That isn't the sort I was looking for. But you do get the occasional crossroad signs which will tell you the town and how many kilometres it is in each direction. This is one of those tourist maps where you can look at it to see exactly where you are. So we're at that red dot there. And again, if you compare that with your iSurvive map, you'll be able to see where you are. This is one of the crossroads signs there, so we can see how many kilometres it is and which direction the different towns are. One thing DayZ can teach you about is a real world lesson is how to navigate using maps. So we're heading up this road here. There's another sign there. The blue signs are usually quite good. They tend to tell you how far to a big settlement. Now, closest one is left, and it looks like a CTPAO or something, or OE. I'm not sure if it's oh no, is that down Shakovka or something? Probably not. But we're going to head this way anyway, we're along this road. Food's starting to go down a bit, we're now on yellow. I try and keep it out of the red if I can. Don't really mind it being in yellow so much, but if I get into yellow and I haven't got anything on me, I'm thinking, okay, what can I do about this? Can I find a chicken? Are there some infected to kill? I might have some pate or something. Have I got a fishing rod? Is there a pool? You know, fishing is a really good way to become self-sustainable in DayZ. So we're in the town now, we can check out a few of these buildings. I also want to head over to the medical centre, look for some medical supplies, maybe see if we can find a police station and maybe pick up some more weapons. Very recognisable, the medical centres. The medical centres they're often that kind of long blue barrack-shaped building, and these are your police stations. You can see that little watchtower element on the top there. Again, I don't really want to fight unnecessarily here, so I'll take a hit and then try and shut the gate just to slow down, jump in here, shut the door, and then check the back door is locked as well. Now we've got a BK-18 there. I think that takes 7.62mm rounds. So we can we're just going to have to deal with these zombies here. Again, I forgot to run straight in and shut the back door here. That was a critical mistake. And I'm now getting swamped by 3 zombies. I've taken down 1, but I'm now on the deck. Will I survive? Well, you'll have to wait until episode 3 for that. Hope you've enjoyed it anyway. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and carry on the adventure.